There are moments in every person's life when, without warning, a word, a glance, or an action can make us feel worthless. Disrespect can appear openly or subtly through indifference. In such situations, we are faced with a choice. Should we respond to these people or remain silent? Should we act as if nothing happened while feeling broken inside? Or should we let our emotions take over and lash out harshly? This question isn't just a dilemma of daily life. It's a question that has followed humanity throughout history. Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, who lived thousands of years ago, deeply explored this issue. They understood that it's not the events themselves that weaken us, but our reactions to them. The Stoics say, it is not the event that hurts you, but your thoughts about it. This philosophy gives us power, not to drown in a sea of emotions, but to stand firm above the waves. In today's video, we won't show you how to respond to disrespect, but how not to respond. How to act with wisdom and deep inner strength instead of becoming a slave to emotions. You'll discover thoughts that will make you a more balanced, less reactive and stronger person. Because true strength doesn't lie in what others say, but in the calm and deep response you give. So watch this video until the end and learn how to master that response. A person is shaped by how and where they direct their energy. If you respond to every word, every sharp remark, every slight touch, then you are handing over the steering wheel of your life to others. Someone who makes you angry is in fact testing your inner self. They're checking, where will you break? Which word will make you explode? And if you lose control, they win. They've pulled you into their game and now they control you. But when you stay silent, when you remain calm, they begin to see that you are strong, patient, and unshakable inside. Remaining calm and taking control of your emotions is not weakness. It's a power that most people don't have, because the easiest thing is to surrender to your emotions. The hardest thing is to tame them. But remember, it's the hard path that makes you grow. The hard path is what sets you apart from others. When you stay calm, the other person loses their power. The more they realize they can't shake you, the more confused they become. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. In those moments, your silence speaks louder than words. And that silence doesn't come from fear. It comes from deep self-confidence. A person who can control themselves can also control their life, because life too sometimes tests you with disrespect. And how you emerge from these tests defines who you are. Instead of answering those who criticize and belittle you with words, respond with your success, your patience, and your strength. Let those who try to provoke you see that you are not so weak as to be shaken by their words. Your roots run deep, and trees with deep roots do not sway with the wind. This is the first Stoic principle for dealing with disrespect. The second principle is this: never take an insult directed at you personally. Do you know why? Because what people say reflects their thoughts, not your value. The opinion of someone who doesn't know you cannot hurt you unless you let it. When someone insults us, we instinctively take it as a personal attack. Inside, a reaction immediately forms. Why did they belittle me? Or weren't those words directed at me? But let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, do those words truly reflect who we are? Or do they reveal the character of the person saying them? Sometimes people try to free themselves from their own fears, weaknesses, and insecurities by projecting them onto others. What is said about you often doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects their inner state. Because insults don't come from wise minds. They come from those in turmoil, those who are unable to control themselves. And that storm isn't about you, it's happening inside them. You're not a mirror for every passerby to wipe their dirty hands on. You shouldn't be so weak as to measure your worth by the words of others. Your value isn't defined by what people say about you, it's defined by how you live and how you treat others. The opinion of someone who doesn't know you is just noise. Sometimes a single sentence from a stranger can ruin your whole day. But that doesn't mean they are powerful. It means you momentarily forgot your own strength. If you are deeply aware of your inner stability, self-worth and integrity, no word can shake you. Disrespect is like an arrow. In order for it to wound you, you must let it in. But if you truly know yourself, that arrow will fall without even touching you. The more you internalize this principle, the easier life becomes. When you stop taking people's words personally, their power fades, and you become free from opinions, from influence, from manipulation. This is true strength, to remain calm, not because of what others say, but because you haven't forgotten who you are. And that calmness, it doesn't come from fear. It's the voice of your maturity, your intellect, your perspective, and your self-control. The third principle of Stoic philosophers is truly knowing yourself and building your values from within. The strongest people in life are those who know themselves, because when they know who they are, the opinions of others cannot shake them. If you have a deep understanding of yourself, no insult, criticism, or glare can change your value. One person's opinion about you is just that, an opinion, not a fact. Yet we often give those opinions so much weight that we nearly forget who we are. If someone doesn't like us, we feel our worth has diminished. But in truth, you are valuable simply by being who you are. You are not valuable because someone approves of you. You are valuable because you exist. To know yourself is to answer the questions: who am I? But what do I believe in? What do I value in life? When you find these answers, what others think of you passes by like the wind. It may brush you, but it can't knock you down. Remember, build your self-worth not through others' eyes, but through your own. However valuable you believe you are in your own eyes, that is how the world will begin to see you. If you see yourself as small, others can never see you as great. People around you won't always understand who you are. Some will ignore you, and some will intentionally misunderstand you. But if you are stable and strong within, none of that can pull you off your path. You don't need anyone's validation to be worthy. Your own validation is the strongest motivation. And you can do this because inside you there is a power that protects you, uplifts you, and keeps you standing. Just remember that power and live with it every day. One of the most emphasized teachings of the Stoics on this subject is how you conduct yourself in moments of disrespect. The fourth ancient principle taught by their wisdom is how to overcome anger in such moments. Anger is a feeling that flares up suddenly inside. Sometimes it feels like staying silent in the face of injustice is wrong. You think you must respond, that you must come out on top. But remember, anger doesn't make you stronger. It actually reveals your weakness. When you get angry, others can see exactly which button to press to make you explode. When someone makes you angry and you react, the rules of the game are no longer in your hands, they're in theirs. It's like playing chess without thinking about your move, losing your pieces one by one because of emotion. Staying calm isn't easy, but there's a deep mastery within it. Imagine having a volcano boiling inside you, and yet you're able to control it. That is true strength. Calmness may sometimes appear as weakness, but in reality, silencing the storm within is something very few people can do. Every time you overcome your anger, you strengthen your grip on your own life. Each time you stay silent, you rise one step higher. Anger keeps you stuck, but patience moves you forward. The more calm and in control you are, the less likely you are to be hurt. Decisions made in anger often lead to regret, while actions taken with patience show you to be a stronger and more respectable person. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, take a deep breath. Tell yourself, I will not be a prisoner of this emotion. And in that moment, you'll realize that you're someone who can master their inner fire. And that makes you unbeatable. One important point to note is this: never change who you are based on someone else's behavior. Let's clarify this further. Just because someone treats you rudely, does that mean you should become like them? Absolutely not. That would mean lowering yourself to their level. Your behavior should not be shaped by who they are, but by who you are. Imagine someone insults you, yells, disrespects you. In that moment, a voice inside says, respond. Show them who you are. But take a pause and ask yourself, who do I want to be? Like them or someone who remains true to my principles? If you change yourself every time someone else behaves badly, it means any wind can carry you in any direction. But if you live by your principles, no storm can pull you off your path. Someone who disrespects others has lost themselves. Their words and actions should not define you. You have your own values. You have your own standards. And the more you protect those values, the more others will see that stability and strength in you. Yes, staying true to your principles is often the hardest path, but that's what sets you apart. Many people respond to disrespect with more disrespect. But very few choose silence, kindness, and self-control. Great politicians, business people, and world-renowned figures. These are the types of people who do. And if you manage to be among those few, you've already become someone different. While everyone else is loud, you remain calm and steady. And that calmness makes you stronger and more respected than the rest. The ancient wise ones taught, never let who they are change who you are. The more you protect yourself, the more power remains in your hands. The sixth Stoic principle is about emotions. In difficult situations, we often respond emotionally. In those moments, the voice inside you wants to protect you, but also yells, answer back. Don't stay silent. Show them. That voices your emotions. Emotions are powerful, but they're also temporary. The feeling that burns you now will fade in an hour, but the decision you make in that moment can stay with you for years. Decisions made in anger often create chains of regret. One careless word, a broken person, a lost relationship, all because of one emotional moment. So remember this, your mind will never betray you. The mind is your calm, balanced, and impartial friend. It wants to show you the right path, but your emotions make so much noise that it's sometimes hard to hear that quiet voice. Emotions come and go. They are like waves, here one moment, gone the next. But you must not let yourself be swept away by the wave. You are not a boat. You are the one steering the ship. So why give up control? Whenever you're about to make a decision out of anger, excitement, or fear, pause for a moment. Take a breath and ask yourself, am I making this decision with my mind or with my emotions? True strength is not in suppressing emotions, but in not surrendering to them. Recognize them, but let you be the one who decides. Choosing the mind sometimes means being patient and sometimes staying silent. But each time you choose it, you strengthen your grip on the wheel of your life. Remember, emotions can affect you, but you are not obligated to surrender to them. A person who acts with reason doesn't lose their way, even in difficult times. Decisions made in anger often bring regret. Think calmly, act with reason. Your mind will not let you down. Never forget this one thing in life, your energy is limited. You can either spend it on hurt feelings or on self-growth. Which one is more valuable? If someone insults you, treats you unfairly, and you spend your whole day thinking about how to respond, know that you're holding yourself back from growing. But if you use that insult as fuel within you, that's when the outcome changes. This is the essence of the seventh Stoic principle. Someone who insults you unknowingly gives you an opportunity. They want to weaken you by provoking you, but you turn them into a source of inspiration. You say, you can say what you want, but I won't respond. Instead, I'll read more, work harder, be more patient, and one day your words won't affect me anymore. That is true strength. Real victory isn't about fighting back. Real victory is rising above the situation that was meant to bring you down. If you can use every insult as a step, you'll rise so high that those who tried to pull you down will no longer be able to reach you. Self-development isn't just about reading books or learning skills. It's about growing your inner strength, becoming calmer, more understanding, and knowing yourself more deeply. Your energy is valuable. Don't waste it on responding to others. Use it to create a better version of yourself. Because every time you improve, the things that once hurt you seem smaller. The more you work on yourself, the more meaningless the insults become. Because you're not on their level, you're on your own path. You're walking toward your own peak. One of the key Stoic principles in dealing with disrespect is this: When someone disrespects you, don't try to explain who you are to those who don't understand you. You've likely seen situations like this. Someone is disrespected or insulted, and they respond with things like, "Do you know who I am?" or "You don't know me." But not everyone will understand who you are, and that's perfectly normal. Not every eye sees the same, not every heart feels the same depth. Some people only know you on the surface, but they can't comprehend the world inside you. Some judge you based on a single moment, without knowing the path you've walked or the battles you've fought. Sometimes you feel a strong urge to explain yourself, to prove your worth, to say, "Please understand me correctly." But don't forget one thing: trying to explain yourself often wastes your energy, because someone who doesn't understand you will still judge you from their own level, even if they try. And in that moment, you can't give them a higher perspective. If you're constantly busy telling others, "I'm not like that," then you've already drifted from your path. In truth, the best response is to speak through silence and results. Someone who doesn't understand you will try to change you. But if you truly know yourself, there's no need to change. If you're confident in your own voice, someone else's opinion should not steer your path. Remember, not everyone can recognize a diamond. Some people may see it as just an ordinary stone, because to recognize true value, it takes more than just eyesight. It takes insight. It takes depth. It takes patience. There is only one person who can make you feel valuable without needing anyone's approval, and that's you. If you know yourself, you owe no explanations. Your job is not to explain, but to walk your path. Those who don't understand you will fall behind. But as you keep moving forward, the right people, those who do understand, will naturally gather around you. Principle 9. Sometimes a fire rises within us. When someone wrongs or insults us, we want to respond immediately. We want to defend ourselves, explain, strike back. But remember this: time is the most just judge. It puts everything in its proper place. There are moments when your silence causes those who judge you unfairly to expose themselves. There are times when staying calm shows how strong and in control you really are. Silence is sometimes the most powerful answer, because it says, "I don't care enough to react," in the quietest, yet most devastating way. When people try to provoke you and you don't even feel the need to respond, that's when you truly win. Silence doesn't sound like weakness. It sounds like self-confidence. Over time, everything becomes clear. Masks fall off, intentions are revealed, injustices come to light. But none of this happens through quick reactions. It happens through patience, silence, and trust in time. There's a saying, the strongest person is the one who can stay silent even when they're right, because that takes inner strength. Shouting is easy, responding is simple, but staying quiet and keeping control, that's the height of mastery. So the next time someone's behavior gets under your skin, take a moment and ask yourself, will I react now or stay silent and trust time? Because time always takes the side of truth, and as you remain calm, time will be your defender. Finally, the 10th principle is to preserve your dignity in every situation. No matter how much disrespect you face, no matter how hard others try to provoke you, never lose your dignity. Because your greatest strength lies in your composure, your posture, your silence, and your dignity. Remember, someone who tries to bring you down is actually trying to use your energy to lift themselves up. But when you remain calm and honorable, their plan falls apart on its own because you refuse to play their game. True victory is responding while maintaining your level. When you reply with a soft voice, their shouting looks desperate. When you smile and move on, their powerlessness becomes even more obvious. High character reveals itself not just in words, but in behavior, in presence, in silence. It's not their disrespect that defines you, but how you respond to it. And if you consistently respond with dignity, you've already won. Your character is not measured by your anger, but by your honor. What truly makes you a strong person isn't what you say, it's what you choose not to say. In conclusion, never forget this. Disrespect comes to test you, not to weaken you. Each time you remain silent and honorable, you grow a little stronger. Direct your energy not to conflict, but to your growth. Find your worth not in someone else's behavior, but in your own. And always remember, your dignity is your strongest weapon. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. See you again soon.